All right, let's get right into it. If you're learning German, you have definitely hit one of its trickiest puzzles, the perfect tense. Specifically, knowing when to use haben and when to use sein. It can feel totally random at first, but I promise you, there's a clear logic to it. And today, we are going to crack that code together.
So, this is the big question, isn't it? It trips up pretty much every single learner, but thinking of it as a puzzle is exactly the right way to go. Because once you know the rules of the game, it all of a sudden gets so much easier. By the end of this, you are gonna have the key to solve it, every single time.
So where do we start? Well, here's the secret. Instead of trying to memorize the hundreds and hundreds of verbs that use haben, which is most of them, by the way, we're gonna flip that on its head. We're gonna focus on the special cases first. We are going to master the rules for Sein. It's the exception, and that's where all our best clues are hiding.
And believe it or not, it really all boils down to just these three simple categories. That's it. If a verb falls into one of these three little groups, you must use Sein. This is our entire game plan right here. So let's break them down one by one.
Okay, category 1, motion. Now, the key thing to get here is that this isn't just any kind of movement. We're talking about directed movement from one place to another. Think A to B. You go from your house to the store. You swim from this side of the pool to the other. If there's a clear change in location, you're almost definitely using Sein.
Moving on to our second category, verbs of change. This one is all about transformation, or a change of state. So with aufstehen, you go from being in bed to being, well, up. With einschlafen, you go from being awake to being asleep. Anytime the subject goes through some kind of fundamental shift in their condition, that's your big signal to use Sein.
And finally, every language has its little quirks, right? German is no different. There are just two key verbs that you kind of have to memorize that will always take Sein. They are bleiben, which means to stay, and weirdly enough, Sein itself, the verb to be. Just lock those two away in your brain. They're always partners with Sein.
Okay, so we've covered the three specific cases for Sein. You ready for the simple part? This is honestly where everything just clicks into place. What about all the other thousands of verbs in the German language?
Well, here's the thing. Haben is the default. It's the standard setting. So, if the verb you're using doesn't show A to B motion, and it doesn't show a change of state, and it's not one of our two little exceptions, then you use haben. It's just a process of elimination, which makes your decision super straightforward. And these examples show this perfectly. I mean, think about it. When you eat, or drink, or buy, or hear something, you're not really changing your location or transforming your state of being. You're just doing something. These are the classic types of verbs that will always use haben.
Great. So now we know which helping verb to choose. The next logical step is figuring out how to build the sentence correctly. The structure is absolutely key, but luckily for us, it's very consistent.
So, first things first, the helping verb. Doesn't matter if it's haben or sein, it has to be conjugated to match the subject. So for I, it'll be ich habe or ich bin. For he, it's going to be hat or ist. This table shows you exactly how that works. The helping verb always has to agree with who's doing the action. Now this right here is the golden rule of word order for the German perfect tense. It never changes. Your conjugated helping verb, your haben or sein, it locks itself into the second position in the sentence, and the main verb, in its past participle form, gets punted all the way to the very end, every time. And look at how perfectly this shows that rule in action. On the left, I habe gehört. See? Habe is in position 2, gehört is at the end. And on the right, ich bin aufgestanden. It's the exact same structure. Bin is in position 2, aufgestanden is at the end. Once you get this sentence frame down, you can build thousands of correct sentences. It's awesome. All right, let's pull all of this together into a simple, practical tool that you can use anytime you're making a sentence in the past tense. Think of this as your mental checklist for getting it right every single time. So, it all boils down to this super simple two-step process. First, you just run your verb through the Sein checklist. Is it motion? Is it a change of state? Is it one of those two weird exceptions? If you get a yes to any of those, your choice is Sein. Done. If the answer to all of them is no, then you don't even have to think. Your answer is automatically haben. That is the entire system. It really is that simple.
So now you've got the clues, you've got the rules, and you have the sentence structure. That whole puzzle of haben and sein, it's not so puzzling anymore, is it? It's just a logical system. And now that you have the key, the only question left is,
What are you going to go out and describe first?